everyone. If you're new here, hello. Welcome back to this episode of Home Cafe, and we're going to be making honey cake. And we're just gonna jump right into it. Woo. First things that we're gonna do, and I'm actually gonna measure out this time, 3/4 cup of oil. Okay, but this is just equal parts sugar and oil, 3/4 cup of sugar. And then the oil we add in here. Get your honey. And then I'm crouching down again. I don't know if anyone knows about this, but if you pour in your oil first and then you put the honey into whatever vessel you use to pour the oil out, it just slides right out. Now you just whisk this up together. Low speed first. But this is a stand mixer. If you're using like an electrical hand mixer, then you can just do it at low speed. Then when it's like starting to slowly come together, you want to crank up the speed a little bit to medium until it's like broken up like this. And then increase the speed again. Just kind of like cream it together like you would with the butter and sugar in the pinochle cupcakes video. And doesn't really take that long to like cream it together. This is completely optional, but I'm gonna add it in anyway because I am bougie. I went on Amazon and I found like these little floral syrups. So this is orange blossom syrup. And you can just add in a teaspoon here.
I wonder what would happen if I just one shot the bottle.
How about no? Just mix that in there, incorporate it. And then we're gonna be adding in our eggs at room temperature because everything bakes best at room temperature. So don't even try it if it's like cold or whatever. Add in one egg at a time. I'm gonna increase the speed a bit. Okay, another one. And last one. I'm gonna turn up the speed a little bit more. Let it whip on high to incorporate the air for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'd say maybe max 5 minutes if you really want that airy like texture in there. But yeah, while you're at it, maybe you can stream One by Super M.
You freaking sell out.
Okay, cool. See how there's a lot of air bubbles there? That's kind of what you want, and then also like the egg mixture, like, I wouldn't say doubled in size, it was kind of more just expanded in size, I don't know. So now, we're going to be hooking on our paddle attachment. So for me, I prefer having like 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. This is 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I actually would recommend using cake flour for this one, just so that everything is all light and airy, but all-purpose flour also works fine. And then, exactly, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's going to be our dry ingredients. This is 3/4 cup of milk. And then we're going to sift in 1/2 of the dry ingredients in here. Okay, there we go. Put in your paddle attachment, run it on low speed. And here you can start adding in like a little bit of the milk slowly. Yeah, just putting your milk very slowly. Just so it incorporates. So for those of you who know me, I have 4 mentees who I affectionately call my children. But I was telling them that for this recipe, I really wanted to do it because I really like honey. And then they said that they don't really like honey. So I kind of made it my mission to change their minds. My 3rd child, she tried it, and she actually did say that between my pinochle cake and my honey cake, she preferred the honey cake more. So now all my kids are like super curious, and they're like, what do you mean you prefer the honey cake over the pinochle cake? But guess they'll have to find out. Okay, it's coming together really loosely. Let me take this off again. And then put this back here. And we're gonna sift in the rest of this. Mix this until it's barely coming together again on low speed. Okay. Just like that. And scrape off the sides. Where's my spatula? Okay. Like, batter's done now. So I have these silicone molds, cake tins, and what you're gonna do, you just like grease the bottom, just the bottom. Okay, so I made the parchment paper round. You're just gonna like put that on top of the greased bottom. And now we pour in our orange blossom honey batter. I'm trying to like fill it 2/3 of the way first. And then...
You made extra again, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Try to underfill first and then figure out how much you need, like from the batter, just to like see if you can get it even. So while we wait for the oven to preheat though, this would be like a good time to, I guess, tell you guys that I try to preheat my oven like at the very last second. So normally I would be preheating my oven as I'm pouring in my batter because what that does is that it relaxes the gluten in the cake so that the cake doesn't turn out to be like overly tough. Which is also why, another thing, use cake flour. There's less gluten proteins in there. Another thing about silicone molds, you just want to like be sure that it can withstand high heats. For this silicone mold that I got at Daiso, it was, I think the highest it could take was 400 degrees Fahrenheit. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna be baking it at 325. And I don't know, depending on how long this is gonna take, it might take an hour because I made too much batter. Time to preheat. So cream has been made, and if you need directions on how to make the cream, I made it before in a separate episode, and there's a link to that somewhere in the iCard, wherever. I'm going to scoop this in your piping bag and have like some form of decoration, I guess. Creamy. Except now you made a mistake and realized that maybe you kind of overfilled. Wow, okay.
That's why you cut the tip afterwards.
Too late. For those of you that noticed, I have a different cake. This is a matcha honey cake. All I really did was add matcha to the dry ingredients. Anyway, I guess here we go. Never mind, this is not working.
It is kind of working.
Is it though?
Kinda.
Is it though?
Kinda. You know, you can use like a spatula thing to flatten it out.
You know,
too.
shut up. So, also you've noticed that the cakes are flat, so you want to cut off the tops. Ooh. The tops, and if the bottoms are like kind of crispy, you might want to take those off too, because that's what happened with these cakes. This is home cafe. We're not here to make professional like desserts or whatever. I mean, this still looks pretty decent. So, yeah, ta-da! Let me see if I can get this cross-section without screwing up. I'm like so scared. Ooh. But this is why you want your cakes to be cold, because otherwise, if you don't wait for it to be like cold or at least cool,
the frosting will melt into the cake.
Exactly. Okay, but here we go. I'm just gonna use the same like paper plate that I used for this.
Ooh, that's ah!
Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go get a fork and yeah, let's try this out. I'm very happy with this one too. Because I can still get the honey, but like it's not overpowering because of the matcha for this one. So, if you like this episode of our Home Cafe series, give us a like. You can also follow us on our Instagram and join our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you ever end up making this honey cake recipe, then you can tag me at Sasha.son. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!